Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Project S3. So today we are going to be dressing the engine in preparation to getting it in the car. But before we go down and have a look at the engine, the new engine that we actually purchased, just want to give a quick shout out to the guys at Burning Rubber. Now, we've given them a shout out before. They are a US alter ego. They buy cars from Copart and they specialize in Audi cars, and the reason why we're giving them a shout out today is because they have purchased on their newest project an Audi A7, a car that is dear to my heart, a car that I actually used to own many years ago. So they've just bought a high spec one and they're doing it up. So go over to their channel, go onto their comments and tell them that you've come over from Cars for Paul, and that will show the appreciation that we will give them. So that's you'll see them linked in below in the comments below. So go over and give those guys a shout out. Right, let's get back to our own project here, Project S3. We're making some good progress. Let me show you the new engine that I bought and let me show you the reasons why I bought that. Okay, so here we have our two engines. So this one over here, this is our old engine that's come out, and this is our new engine that's going into the car. So let me tell you about this engine and why I bought this engine in the end and not the original one I spoke about in last week's video. So this engine is from a 2018 S3. It's done 14,000 miles, and if you look at this engine, everything is on here. It has the alternator. If you remember, on this one the alternator was broken. It has the AC compressor, that's all on there. All the belts are all preloaded. We also have our mount here, that's all in place. The best thing about this, it's the right engine, so it is a DH or DJA-H engine, which is the correct engine for this S3, and the fact that it comes out from such a newer vehicle as well is a bonus. The original engine, this one over here, has done 68,000 miles, so with this doing 14,000, this is truly a young one. But here's a Brucey bonus, came with a turbo as well. So, and literally everything is assembled in this vehicle. Now when they take these engines out of the car, they the salvage yards, they just make the assumption that you're going to replace all the pipes, so they just literally just cut them all. But that's fine, because that's one of the reasons why I preserved all the pipes in my vehicle. But one of the things here, and again this is another reason why I went for this engine, was because if you look at here, there was so much damage on the front here. All of these bits here that are part of the vehicle, part of the cooling system, they're all damaged. You had a mass airflow, that was damaged. You had the inlet manifold, that was damaged. So all of those bits I would have had to have purchased. So actually buying this engine as it was has saved me quite a bit of money and quite a bit of hassle as well. And one of the other things as well, on the oil pump there is a little rubber pipe. Now I'm going to see if you can see, you can just see it just there, this little rubber pipe. Now I've been told that that pipe, when you fit the new oil cooler on, is a complete nightmare, because if the pipe is kinked, and it often gets kinked, you fill the car up and then the water comes gushing out, so you got to then take the whole thing apart. So with this being intact, I didn't have to go through that nightmare. And I've checked all the wiring, everything is in place, as you can see. Well, you can't see. Like I said, the only thing that's been cut are some of the rubber hoses, and of course when you look on my car, all of those hoses have been preserved. So I'm going to take those off of this car, put them on to this car, and then we should be able to just plug everything back in to the engine bay. Now of course there's some valuable parts on this car that I'm going to sell, so the turbo being the most valuable part, I'm going to sell that. We're going to strip down the head and take the head apart. The cylinders, injectors, we'll sell those. The coil packs, nothing wrong with the coil packs on this, we'll sell those. So there's a multitude of parts from this old engine that we can sell, not to mention keeping them first to make sure that nothing has failed on here, because even though this engine's been taken out and it's been transported on the back of a pallet, and that was well packed, you just don't know if the engine's been knocked or anything's been damaged or any sensors. So having this engine here and all the parts, I can use those as spares, and then once I get this car up and running, we then know that we'll be in a good place to start selling the bits and bobs on this vehicle here. So first job of the day, we need to get this gearbox connected to that engine. Then we can hoist the engine back into place and then put the mounts back in and get that partially back in, and then starts the big fun, and that is connecting up all the cables, which surprisingly there isn't a lot of. You think of a car like this, there's thousands of cables, but realistically there wasn't. And everything, when I take these things apart, every single cable, and this is a tip for you all, I photograph everything, and some of them, when there's like one or two of the same, I also put mark them with a pen, so I know that the correct part is going together, or the correct pipe is going with the correct connector. So that's just something for you to bear in mind. Mark everything up so that you can and take photos of everything so you know what's what. Right, time for a bit of time lapse as we start getting this gearbox together. Okay, so we managed to get the engine and gearbox together. That went together surprisingly easy. And what I've got at the moment, I've got 5 bolts done up. They're not torqued up yet, they're just done up. I didn't want to torque them up until I was absolutely happy that the gearbox was together. So I've still got 3 bolts to put in. And yes, they will be going in, we won't be leaving anything out. And then once we get those in and all torqued up, then we'll be in a position to get the engine back in place and spin it 180. But before we do that, we got some pipes to sort out. So all of this stuff here that's been cut, we need to sort out and salvage from our donor engine over there. Okay, let's get that done. Okay, so transfer job number 1, we're going to take this pipe off here. See, on my one here on the new car, it's all cut. That and this pipe down here. Here you can see it's connected here and this pipe here. So what we have to do is get a pair of mole grips to undo this pipe here, and then we can transfer that over. And then the same goes for this pipe here. So on the turbo, on the other car, that's damaged, so we need to take that off. And we also need to take this sensor off as well, the land bar sensor on the turbo. We need to get that moved as well, because this is the old one, which is fine, but on this car here, the new engine, you can see it's broken. So we'll transfer that over as part of this. Then once we do that, we'll swap the engine around, or we'll spin it around, and then we'll get the downpipe from the MAF air sensor, the MAF sensor. So the pipe work, etc., we need that as well. And then I think that's it in terms of some of the pipe work. We'll check the front beforehand, and then once we get all that done, we can then spin the engine around and just check the front to make sure that we got everything before we're ready to start doing more stuff or more pipes. Cool, let's get those off. Okay, so we got our pipes off now, so I'm just going to stick them on here. And what I'm going to do, just to make sure they go on easily, I'm going to use some liquid just on the outside. I don't want it to get inside of the engine, so I'm going to use it on the sleeve here, and it will just allow it to go on much easier. So let's get these old cut pipes off, and then we then know that we're ready to get that fitted. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take this sensor off here now, and to do that we use this tool here. So this is a O2 sensor tool, and it's designed, as you can see, to fit over the cable and then loosen the sensor itself. So I've already done this one, so this one is loose and coming off, and I'll show you me taking off this one, and then we'll get that fitted on here. And like I said, we're doing that because this connector on here is fine, and the one on the other engine, the new engine, has been damaged when they were taking it off. They was obviously just ripping it apart. So let's get that out there. I'll take this off camera. You'll see me putting it on here on camera. Okay, so the back of the engine's all dressed. Now we need to start looking at taking off all of this pipe work here around the front and dress the front. But that's going to be for next week, or the midweek episode of Project S3. Okay, so that's it for this week. So thank you for viewing, and in next week, or this week's midweek episode, we will be actually fitting the engine into the car at last. So just before we go, a couple of things. Don't forget to subscribe down here and share this video and click on that notification button, and also check out the new merch. That's right, so that's available now. You can see it probably scrolling down below. So check out our merch store, and if you want to support this project, feel free to buy one of these t-shirts. So guys, I hope you have a good week, and we will see you on Thursday.